A crazy law professor scared me on my first day of class. I was in my first day of law school, and it was my first day of class. The law professor walked in, all confident, a wrinkled old gentleman with a mustache and a slightly odd look on his face. His shirt was only tucked in on one side, and it was 1,000 colors. How is it possible to create such a colorful shirt? Everyone has a bad impression of this guy, and we're whispering left and right. I mean, it's the basic material. He had an absent but manic look. He flashed a terrifying smile, and the class went cold. You could hear the flies flying. He began to call out the names without looking up, his nose in the computer and one hand delicately touching his mustache. Then he got to my name, stopped, and scanned the classroom. He gave me an insistent look and said straight to my face, "Ah, Madame X, I'm glad you're here. How's your family? Does your little brother still play the piano? Is that model boat still on your dresser? Is your bedroom still pink?" I was so shocked, mortified, and almost shaking. I couldn't find the words to answer. This madman just described my family and the fucking room I sleep in at night. I was terrified and wanted to disappear. Then he added, Of course it is. It's only been what? A week?" Then he returned the call as if nothing had happened. I was in a panic that day, and all day I wasn't myself. I told myself that my first experience at the bar would probably be as a victim and not a lawyer. I turned around 1,000 times on the way home, promising myself I'd move out like my parents wanted as soon as possible. But then, the next day, I find out that this crazy old man is my uncle's best friend, and with my dad they decided to play a prank on my first day at the faculty. What a crazy family. Well, I quickly moved out of my parents' house the same month. It was out of the question for me to stay there any longer. I was too disgusted. But in the end, the teacher wasn't so crazy. For the rest of the year, he shaved off his mustache, and I assumed he'd grown it specifically for the prank. Even his clothing style had changed for the better. I have to admit it was a good prank, even if I was afraid of disappearing for a day or two.